Hi, and welcome to The Gist. Often, in the early morning hours, when my house and the world around me are quiet, I notice how full my mind is with different voices. Not literally, but in the sense that many ideas and opinions from conversations, reading, and other media are floating around through my mind. Perhaps you notice this too if you're an early riser, or in the silence at night, or simply during that rare quiet moment in your day. If we pay close attention during these times, we might realize two things: that the majority of our thoughts are recurring, and that they are not necessarily our own, but rather shaped by our external lives. So, how, amidst all the sound bites, news feeds, and data out there, can we learn to find our own voice, to decipher our own thinking from the rest of the world? Here are a few ways that have worked for me. Quiet reflection. It's quite common to look outside of ourselves for information. Our devices make it so easy for us to quickly and endlessly look up information on the best ways to do things or the latest thinking from experts. We might turn to other people, be it friends and family or advisors like personal trainers, coaches, doctors, and therapists. All of these sources are wonderful. They provide us with knowledge and reassurance. And yet, too much knowledge can drown out our own ideas and erode our trust in our own instincts. Carving out time for quiet reflection allows us to settle the muddy waters of our minds and listen to ourselves. We might feel like we don't have time for personal reflection, but it can happen in short bursts, 5 minutes at a time in our daily lives. With a deliberate intention to do nothing during these brain breaks, we can notice our thoughts and let our minds rest in silence. Share your thoughts with yourself. While I find talking to those closest to me hugely helpful, I've also realized the power of not talking. Another form of sharing my thoughts and feelings is writing, something I've enjoyed since I was a child. To me, writing in a journal is like talking to someone I trust. It's done within the privacy of my own mind, but committing it to a medium outside myself allows me to see my thoughts in a way that talking doesn't. Perhaps writing's not for you, but there are many other ways to express one's thoughts through drawing or painting or recording a video or audio journal you keep just for yourself. Any medium that helps you get your ideas out of your head without relying on other people. I find great comfort in knowing that I can process my thoughts on my own, at least some of the time. Let the body lead the mind. If my mind is swirling with ideas, or I sense a great deal of restlessness in my body, I find it difficult to sift through my thoughts. At such times, I've found it helpful to put away devices, at least for a short time, and not consume any information. Doing a completely different, often physical activity by myself allows me to temporarily put my thoughts on the back burner. Maybe it's a lunch hour walk, or cooking a nourishing meal, or working in the garden. This kind of activity allows me to commit my body and mind to a new, specific kind of activity. And usually by the end of it, I feel refreshed. I'm better able to go back to devices or re engage with people meaningfully. I can make sense of the thoughts that were previously very noisy, and I can more easily separate my own thinking from all the media and messages around me. It's important to recognize that we humans are naturally influenced by our environments, including the spaces where we live and work, and of course, other people. As a species, we have an innate and sometimes dangerous tendency towards groupthink, driven by our strong desire to belong. Given all this, it's impossible to completely isolate our own thinking. It's easy to get muddled in the maze of our minds, especially when they're so inundated with external information and opinions. But with some regular practice and personal reflection, we can learn to find our own voices. On that note, wishing you a great week ahead, be well, and see you next time on The Gist.